1,000 years into the Third Age, the shadow of evil crept back into Middle-earth, putting it on the brink of destruction and setting the stage for yet another showdown between the forces of evil and the people of Middle-earth. Darkness had loomed over Middle-earth in ages past, and twice before evil had nearly triumphed. The Third Age, once a time of peace and promise, had descended into a world overshadowed by growing evil. The great kingdoms of men had diminished, their glory but a distant memory. The once majestic Númenor had fallen, leaving only remnants of its grandeur in the kingdoms of Gondor and Arnor. The elves, the immortal stewards of Middle-earth, weary and longing for peace, retreated to their woodland realms, seeking solace and preservation amidst their fading world. The dwarves, too, had turned inward, delving deep into their mountain halls, mourning the loss of Khazad-dûm and other treasures of old. Meanwhile, shadows lengthened in the east. Sauron, the deceiver thought vanquished, was regaining strength, his malevolence seeping into Middle-earth like a silent plague. The Valar, the powerful guardians of Middle-earth, observed these developments with growing concern. They remembered the devastation of the First Age, where their direct intervention had scarred the world, reshaping the lands in catastrophic ways. They also recalled the despair of the Second Age, where their absence allowed evil to flourish, culminating in the fall of great kingdoms and Sauron's near domination of Middle-earth through his deception. Determined to avoid the extremes of either too much or too little intervention, the Valar knew they had to act, but differently this time. A new strategy was needed, one that balanced guidance with restraint. To counter the rising shadow, 5 Istari, Maya spirits akin to Sauron in origin, were sent to Middle-earth. Though lesser than the Valar, these divine beings carried great power and wisdom, bound to a mission of hope and guidance. The Istari were sent to Middle-earth in the forms of old men. These human-like forms were not mere disguises, they were deliberate limitations, grounding the wizards in the reality of Middle-earth and tempering their divine might to ensure that the Istari could not wield their power unchecked, as Sauron had. Each wizard was unique, with specific qualities that made them suited to the task. Curumo, known as Saruman the White, was chosen for his knowledge and leadership. Olorin, whom we know as Gandalf the Grey, was wise and compassionate. Ivan-Dil, or Radagast the Brown, had a deep connection to nature. The remaining 2, Alatar and Palando, would become the enigmatic blue wizards venturing into lands unknown. The Istari were not warriors or kings, but mentors and guides. Their purpose was to inspire and unite the free peoples, to ignite hope and foster wisdom, and to counsel rather than dominate. The arrival of the Istari was a quiet affair. Disembarking at the Grey Havens, the harbour where elves would set sail to the undying lands. There were no grand proclamations or displays of power. Instead, the wizards dispersed across the lands, weaving themselves into the fabric of Middle-earth. To the elves and men, they appeared as wandering scholars, bearing knowledge from far-off lands. To the dwarves, they were enigmatic strangers. And to the hobbits, when they encountered them, they saw them as curious old men with a fondness for fireworks and stories. Yet beneath these humble exteriors lay immense power and ancient wisdom, carefully restrained to prevent the corruption that had claimed others before them. Despite the Istari's arrival to aid the free peoples, Middle-earth remained a land under siege by shadows. As darkness spread, whispers of Sauron's resurgence grew louder. Dark creatures multiplied, and the rumours of a necromancer in Dol Guldur unsettled even the bravest of souls. The Istari's mission grew ever more urgent. They needed to act, but they had to do so within the confines of their limitations, relying on their wits and the alliances they could forge. And so they embarked on their grand mission, threads weaving into the vast tapestry of Middle-earth's fate. Their wisdom would become a beacon, and their actions would stir hope in a world shadowed by impending doom. And with their arrival, the stage was set for a new chapter in the struggle against darkness.